What's up, YouTube? Game Over 86 coming back with another video, and in this video I'm going to be giving you guys my opinion and ranting on Xbox One and why I believe they have failed us as a company, has failed us as game creators, has failed us as marketing, and has failed us in general. So if you guys are new to this channel, sit back, get ready to listen to my opinion and spread some of the knowledge that I believe everybody should be hearing and would like to hear about how Xbox is destroying the gaming company.
It's that Super Bowl, no, she on the flow. Yeah.
So let me go ahead and just start before we start this whole damn opinion rant about Xbox. Let me get this out there for everybody that's going to be watching this video. I do own an Xbox One X, actually. I paid $544 and some change for it, to tell you the truth. I bought some games that I enjoyed. I own an original Xbox. I was actually first day one edition. I paid a lot of money for that as well. I just recently picked me up an HDMI support for my original Xbox. I own Xbox 360, the S version or whatever. It's the latest version. I also own PlayStation 3, 4, 2, 1, GameCube, Nintendo Switch, Nintendo 64. Every fucking console besides the Saturn I own. Every handheld except for that fucking Nokia garbage and the fucking Sega Game Gear. So before anybody starts thinking, well, I'm a fanboy of another thing, just puff the fucking brakes. All I'm doing is giving you my opinion slash some facts, but I'm also going to rant about why I think Xbox is failing us in this generation out of the PS4s and the Nintendo Switches, why they have fucking failed us. And I'm going to be giving you guys that opinion. So now that we can talk about it, now that you guys have watched this part, you guys could realize I'm not on anybody's side. I'm not taking a fucking side. I'm not on Sony fanboys. I'm not on Nintendo. Hell, I'm not even going to dig up 1990s Sega fanboys, okay? I'm just giving you my perspective, my opinion on why I believe Xbox is failing us and why they're destroying this gaming market, this gaming world that we play in. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is how they developed their console. And I'm not going to go into specific details. I'm just going to tell you guys a little bit about the details. Everybody wants to jump on this Xbox bandwagon, and like I said, I'm a fan of all, but here we go. Xbox, they first invented the Xbox One, right? They got the Blu-ray player rights from Sony to put it in their console. They didn't even know how to fucking do that correctly. They had to call 3 fucking people down from Sony to actually put it in their console. That's the first mistake, when a company don't even know how to put a fucking Blu-ray in correctly to where it won't be sitting over the motherboard where it'll overheat and shut down. You think they would have learned that off the 360 fucking Red Ring of Death, but it seemed like they didn't. They also brought their console out and fucked up by not following Sony's fuck up in the PS3 era when they sold their console for $600 fucking dollars. They released the Xbox One with the fucking shitty ass Kinect that sucks complete cock, and they released it for $500. You couldn't buy it separately. You couldn't just buy the Xbox One for $400. No, they wanted to fucking ream me in the ass because they felt like, you know what, the Kinect's a good device, which it fucking sucks. The only time you really use it is when you're fucking like gaming. It's an alright camera and a mic, but other than that, the games fucking suck. Unless you're fucking 15 and younger and you like doing Dance and all this other shit, that's fine. That's your thing. But from my opinion, the Xbox One Kinect sucks dick. Now we jump back from the S. Now the S has had some enhancements. They brought back, really, they just made it just as powerful, a little bit more powerful than the regular PlayStation 4. They did some hardware and software adjustments, and the games were still the same. It's not like they brought new games out. And the controller, you know, still same. You know, they gave you a little adapter and shit with it, you know, so you could plug in the new Kinect, which I'm going to get to that point here in a second. But they just, in general, it's like they didn't give a shit. they're making stuff, and why they're destroying the gaming company is because they made the Xbox One S, and it really wasn't that powerful. Like, it was a waste of fucking time and money. A lot of people think, well, you know, it's a 4K or Blu-ray player, 4K player, whatever. Yes, but they made it so long ago that 4K wasn't really that big, and it still ain't really that big if we're gonna really get into it. Like, it's still not popular. There's a lot of people that don't even own 4K TVs, let alone fucking buy 4K movies. So, or the games weren't even all the way enhanced. So before you guys say, well, that was a good thing, it made this and this and this, they brought it out before all that shit, before all this enhancement. That's when the Xbox X came. But the reason why I'm kind of frustrated in this company is because they have money. They have resources. They have companies they can buy or make into better when it comes to video game creating. And they just have failed us. And my reasonings behind that is 2018, I made this before. I love the remote, but they still, you got to have batteries, or you can buy a plug and play. So that's fucking $60, $70 remote, 65, whatever. And some of them are 50. Well, you can create your own, which is cool, but that costs you a lot. But then you pay $20 or $25 for the plug and play. So you're almost paying $85 fucking dollars for a remote that's good, but it shouldn't be that much for a fucking remote. The Xbox One Kinect is like $100. I think it was like $150 when it first came out, if you bought it separately after the Xbox One when it came bundled. After that, I think they just sold it separately for $150. And I'm thinking to myself, Jesus, $150 and it don't do shit. And then they had an adapter you could buy for like $34 something on Amazon, but then they fucking quit making that shit, so now they're selling for $300 on fucking eBay, because I guess people want cameras and shit, and they just don't know how to go buy them a cheap ass fucking camera and hook it up to a Microsoft. I mean, come on. Microsoft and PC work together, so you could just hook whatever works up to that into your PC. So for anybody out there that wants this, and oh, I want an adapter for my Kinect, I'm giving you guys some help right now. Just go buy you a fucking mic and a fucking, or a camera, and plug it into your USB in the Xbox and download some software and install it. Or you can do it from your computer and just plug it in through a flash drive and set it all up. You guys can save a fuckload of money. Just to let anybody else that didn't know that, you can do that. The other reason why they failed is, besides the Kinect and bundling it and the overpriced and all that, is the video games. We all talk about this. And I'm really going to get into this part right here. The video games, I personally did not buy an Xbox 360 when it first came out. I was hesitant about it. I seen the Red Ring of Death, and that just turned me off. I said, fuck this. I'm going to wait until they revise this thing and really get it going and fix this shit up, because I don't want to pay $300 or $400, whatever it was, just to get a bad console, just to send it back to me, just for it to fuck up again. So for me, I was out. I dipped out of that fucking pool like a hot fucking balloon, you know, just whoop, I just floated the fuck out of there, man. I just looked in that like somebody took a shit in the pool, and I was like, fuck this, I'm gonna go swimming next time, fuck this. But that next time was like fucking 3 years later when they finally did it right. A lot of people like the other Xbox 360, the Elite version, where, you know, I didn't buy that one. I bought the last one, which it's been running fine, and it runs good, and it plays games just fine. The thing that failed me is the games. They're fun. They have some replayability. Gears of War, you know, Halo. The Forza, I guess, but sometimes the Forza kind of gets boring. And even the Halo. And I'm not dogging it. They were good games. I played them. I didn't play a lot, like I said, at first on the Xbox 360, but I did play them on the original Xbox, and they were fun. Like, I had fun playing it. But after them 3 titles, and besides Fable and some other games that they haven't even brought back to life, they really haven't done anything. They're paying all these other companies to make these games, and hopefully will last. I believe the main reason of why they're failing us is because they brought the One X, and it's kind of like a generational jump when it comes to consoles, and they didn't bring any exclusive games for that console to sell just that console. They wanted to make it the the most powerful console to date. Well, they're the first ones to do it. Congratulations. But you also have the shittiest game lineup to date. Nobody fucking is buying an Xbox One X because 90% of the games that they can get and play on it that are fun, they can get on a PlayStation. And like I said, if 4K was really, really big right now, where 4K TVs and everything was huge, it might be selling and more appealing. But there's a lot of people out there that still don't have 4K TVs and still is not going to pay $550 on a console. And then turn around and spend $1,000 on a 4K TV, let alone that's maybe a halfway decent TV. Just a game. That's $1,500 when they could just buy a PlayStation 4 or a Switch and just have fun on 1080p or 720 undocked or whatever you want to call it. And that's my point. Xbox has failed us as a whole because they have a lack of games. They have a lack of continuity when it comes to building a console, how to selling a console. When I said marketing, they were horrible about that. There wasn't a fucking game coming out enhanced for it for a while. I mean, it released last year in October. I bought it. I actually bought it from the Microsoft Store. Here's the box right here. I bought the Project Scorpio edition, believe it or not. And it was fucking amazing. It was awesome. I enjoyed the console. I enjoy all the games that I didn't play in the Xbox 360 as much. When I bought the Xbox 360, I played it, but I played the PS3 a lot more. I played the PS4 when it first dropped. I didn't buy an Xbox One when it first dropped because it was fucking overpriced. And I didn't care about paying for that with the Kinect. And they had no games, really. They were living off of their Xbox original and Xbox 360 games that they've just have fucking, like, humped us into submission, man. It's like a fucking water hose and a fucking air compressor line just getting cut off. You know, where the handle's at. And it's just fucking spraying all in our face like hot jizz, man. Or fucking hot acid or whatever you want to call it. And we're like, no, stop, Xbox, no. But then we come out after all that shit's caked over our face like a shitty birthday cake with nasty cum icing. And yeah, I'm going in detail. I don't give a shit. We still go back. We still buy stuff from them. We still buy shit that we enjoy, or we still buy stuff because we're like, well, you know what? I think they're going to make it up. Oh, I think they're going to turn it around. And then they drop Game Pass with these games on it. And some of the games are good. Some people hype up Game Pass. I'm not going to hype them up. I have Game Pass, and I got it when like I said, I got this fucking 4 terabyte hard drive, and it gave me 2 free months of Game Pass. I got it. It was fun. I enjoyed it. But some of the games on there are just not good. Some of them on there, there's like maybe 15 to 20 games on there that are actually like third party games. And some of them are just like arcade shitty titles or like Sega titles, you know, that you could put fucking 20 games on one. But they choose to make separately to make it look like they have more games to choose from. Like Sega CD from Sonic CD. And then they put like all these other bullshit games on. Well, you could put like 90 of them Sega games, or fucking 1,000 of them Sega games, all on one disc. And put one on there. But no, they count them as separate. So they can say, oh, we have 100 plus games on Game Pass. No one gives a shit. I could look right now and be like, what's the #1 game right now playing? There's none on Game Pass except for their new releases, day one releases. And that game I already made a review on, which I can leave at the end of the video, or I can leave a thumbnail or fucking a pin up if you guys gonna want to go check that out on what I believe on that. But that's the thing. The other thing I'm going to get into, and the last thing I'm going to get into, is their Game Pass with their day one releases. If you know that the game is shitty, because they see the product. We don't turn a blind eye and go, well, Microsoft didn't know. They know. They paid Rare. Like, they paid Rare to do this. They've been working on it for years. And Rare knows deep down inside, well, I hope that they like this game. And like I said, it's not just Rare. But they're living off these games that were famous 15 years ago, 20 years ago almost. And it's time for them to make some new IPs themselves. Nobody wants, you know, I shouldn't say nobody, but I personally am just tired of Halos and Gears of War and Forzas. And I said this in other videos that once you have so many of them, it just gets repetitive like Call of Duty, and that's why they fall back to their original remaster Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. And they reverted back to World War II, the world at war, but World War II. And that's why Battlefield did it before them. And that's why they're going to continually going backwards. And that's why I heard there's a rumor that Modern Warfare 2 is going to be remastered. Because that's what people want. They don't want all this bullshit every year, the same game. I mean, I understand they've made only 4 Gears of War or whatever, and there might be on 5. Technically, I guess if you think Judgment Day or whatever is a fucking game, I guess, and Halo Reach and all this other shit, you can count them. But I'm just tired of Xbox making shit. And like I said, I play the Xbox a lot. I really do. I love my Xbox One X. But all the games that are on it, I'm lucky enough to have a 4K TV. I'm lucky enough to have an Xbox One X. I am happy with the product. I'm just displeased on how the company is giving us our quality content when it comes to games, when they know that it's not good. And that's why I say I think they put it on Game Pass, because they knew it's not a $60 game. I think they knew that, well, if we can get at least $10 and get people hyped, they'll, you know, word of the mouth, people will pay $10, you know, we can make our money back in return, and then we can drop some DLCs or microtransactions and all this other bullshit. And what about just making great games again? Like, we hear rumors that Fable might be getting remade. Maybe, I don't know. Like, I even mentioned Conker's Bad Fur Day. You know, the online on that would have been awesome. I mean, LAN local 4-on-4 was cool. Make one of them, remaster it. I keep talking about it because it was a fun game. You know, there was a ton of Xbox games you guys could bring back. You know, Black was a great fucking shooter. Yeah, it's going to be released. And yeah, I know April 10th, I believe, they're going to be announcing something major. They're going to be bringing probably all their Xbox original games backwards compatible to where you can play. Well, that's nice and all, but it's like, not everybody wants to fucking play a game from 2000, 2001. They want some new games. They want their games that you've been promising and postponing or delaying or shutting down to come, you know, full circle and actually fucking be here. You know, Crackdown 3, a lot of people are hyped about that. I'm hyped about it, but my God, how many fucking times are we going to turn around and see that it's getting delayed or it's getting pushed back or postponed? I mean, it's just sad because Xbox fans, when the Sea of Thieves came, everybody said, oh, the water's pretty. The water's very pretty. It's a cartoon animated game. It's not hard to make water pretty. If you really want to go about it, water pretty and shit, there's like 3 games right now I can say the water's even prettier, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, the water is pretty on the game, but why don't they say, oh, the story's great, or oh, this is great? All they can revert to is the water. And it's not just that game, but Black Flag had better water. And that was a PS3 game and then came to PS4, technically. Monster Hunter's got really good water. And that's more detailed, not as cartoony. I mean, yeah, I'm not dogging just Sea of Thieves still. I'm not still trying to talk shit on that. I'm just giving you guys my opinion on the Xbox. Like I said, I own all consoles. I play the Xbox probably the most right now, because I've been playing Monster Hunter and I play other games on there. Far Cry 5 looks badass on it. A Way Out is amazing. I've had fun with that. But it's the games that they're not releasing or that they're living on day in and day out. from 2000 when the damn thing got released, or whenever the Xbox original got released. I can't even remember the year. But they're living off these 4 or 5 franchises and then still just trying to make, you know, a new style every year or every other year or maybe 3 or 4 years or 5 years down the line. And it's like, make a fucking new game. You got companies out there that make games. You got companies that can make great things. And then when it comes to marketing, they like I said with the Xbox, they talk about how the X is the most powerfulest, but you didn't release any just Xbox One X or like original, that's the game for just this console. Go out and get it. This is the only place where you can buy or play these games. I think they just want to have the toughest hardware and the highest powerful, most badass hardware out there, and that don't sell all the time. That don't blow over with fans unless, like I said, you're an Xbox fanboy, which is your opinion. It's your right to do and say whatever you want and believe whatever you want, but you know what? The Sega Saturn was a fucking powerful console, and they didn't have a ton of games because they marketed it wrong. Like Xbox has marketed the Xbox One wrong. And it was overpriced, just like the Xbox One. And they rush everything, and they get nervous because they're afraid. They're afraid of how the Switch is doing. They're afraid of how Sony's just doing their thing. And they just rush. Oh, we need to make the most powerful console. But what about games? What about getting the content that makes people go, you know what, I want to buy a Xbox One S? Or your fans that have already bought an Xbox One or an Xbox One S, make them go, you know what, I'm going to trade these in and get an Xbox One X. Or people that haven't even converted to Microsoft or Xbox or whatever, they go, you know what, I'm going to pick me up one of them because it sounds cool and I want to play some of their games that I haven't ever got to play. And that's why I'm talking about why I believe that Xbox is ruining the gaming world. And I always say to myself, man, great companies will eventually fall. And I'm not saying that they're going to fall anytime soon, but they're not helping themselves with the next gen. They're not helping themselves when it comes to talking, you know, profitability. I mean, do we really know they're making money on the Xbox One X? They're probably losing money on that thing right now. I mean, there's a lot of heat going on right now with their Xbox Game Pass and their fucking Sea of Thieves, and that's turned a lot of people away from, you know what, it's not worth it to buy the Xbox Game Pass because Sea of Thieves was, to my opinion, a failure. So, and I'm not just meaning the game, I'm meaning in the future. Like, if you played Sea of Thieves and you didn't like it, and you sit back and you're like, wow, I spent $10 on Sea of Thieves, and I really don't play any of the other games on there. I played it because, wow, they hyped up this day one release when all these exclusives come out. Man, I'm excited. And then you play it and you're like, well, that wasn't even worth it. Like, well, at least I didn't spend $60. So now you tell yourself in your head, well, should I keep it and wait for State of the Decay 2 or Crackdown 3 or any other ones that they have shut down or postponed that they're going to release? I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you were going to release this, you got to make it the baddest fucking game on the market. You got to put everything into it. Your heart, your blood, your sweat, your tears, and your passion. Like I am on this mic. I'm passionate about my channel. I care about negative comments, thumbs up, thumb downs. I care about what people think out there and what they think of my video, what of my channel. Do I care that they dog me? No, I don't care. I don't let it faze me. But I care to get this content out to them so they can at least listen to it and maybe understand and maybe sit back and kind of think to themselves, you know what, I don't like this guy, but I kind of like what he's saying because it does make sense. Like, what has Xbox done since they've brought the Xbox One with the original Day One edition? What have they done to actually change the whole gaming market besides make Day One exclusives come out on Game Pass, which took them 5 years after the Xbox One got released. And they made a console which took them 4 years. The number one, baddest, most powerful console. It took them 4 years to do that. What else have they done that's really gotten fans go, oh, I'm going to check it out? They haven't. They postponed a bunch of games. They make old ass IPs that they lived on and banked on for years, which is fine. There's people that love Gears of War. There's people that love Halo. There's people that love Forza and Fable. They haven't even made a Fable, so I'm not even gonna fucking mention that name. There's people that love them. I love them games, but I'm not gonna sit there for fucking 3 years straight and play it, like I may do with Monster Hunter. Like I may do with Mario Odyssey 5 years from now. Or Zelda Breath of the Wild. Or Ocarina of Time. Or Horizon Zero Dawn. Or Metal Gear Solid. Like, a lot of them games people don't play 10 years from now. They may, if you're Xbox fanboys. But if you're just a general fan of all games, they don't gravitate, man. They don't. There's people that are still playing Super Smash Brothers and Mario 64 on the Nintendo 64. There's speedrunners. I mean, there's people still playing World of Warcraft and Dota and all this other shit. And I'm not hyping it up. I'm just saying that they're still playing CSGO. There's people out there that play this religiously and donate $10 a month for their subscription. And they always have 15 million online for the last 20 years. I mean, video game... Xbox just can't keep up with that type of shit. It seems like they're just failing us. It seems like next year they're going to be announcing the Xbox 2. That's what I believe. I believe that Sony is going to announce a rumor or hype up video or a teaser about the PlayStation 5, possibly at E3. And I believe that Nintendo's going to drop a lot of exclusives and a lot of great games at E3. And I think Microsoft's going to sit there and wet the bed. They better do something. That's why I think April 10th they're going to talk about how they're bringing all the games over. Instead of slowly week in and week out or month in and month out, they're like, well, we brought 5 games from the 360. 4 of them were arcades that nobody's going to play, and 1 they may play every so often. But there's so many good games out there on other consoles that they don't want to go back and play an arcade game. So anyway, that's my rant. That's my opinion, I guess, on why Xbox is, I believe, destroying the gaming market and the gaming world. And, you know, it's going to be game over. 86. I'm going to throw my plug in there for them if they don't quit. So if you guys could leave a comment down below, hit the thumbs up, share this video. Let me know what your guys' opinions are, because I'm passionate about Xbox. I'm passionate about a lot of game companies. I'm not a fanboy of any certain kind. So anyway, like I said, leave a comment, hit the thumbs up, share this video. Also check me out and follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and Instagram. I have the links in there. And also hit the subscribe button if you guys do like this video. I always do appreciate everybody out there. And then I appreciate all the comments, thumbs up, even the thumbs down and the negative comments, man. Let me know. Maybe it'll help me do better on my videos. Maybe it'll help me, you know, see what I don't see, what you guys don't see. Maybe I could take them and maybe make a different video out for you guys. I don't know. You guys leave me a comment, thumbs up, subscribe, share. Game Over is always out. Game Over 86 is always out. Peace, guys.